Alright, this is part 2 of the Epoxy Coaster. This is how it looked when I took it out of the mold. I gave it 24 hours to dry. I'm pretty sure it was dry about 12 hours in, but I wanted to make sure. There's the mold that I took it out of. But this is it. I've yet to do anything to it other than take it out of the mold. After I poured it, I took it in my house because it says right on the bottle that it needs to be, or most epoxy needs to be about 75 to 80 degrees Fahrenheit to cure properly. So I took it in my house because it's warmer in there. And also, before I let it sit up, I took a blow dryer and put it on the hottest setting and went over the top for a good while to get all the air bubbles out. But as you can probably see, it didn't work as well as I hoped. That's okay, we can fix that. Around the edges, it still had bubbles forming, and they hardened like that. So we'll take care of that. Today we're gonna sand it, sides, top, probably some of the bottom too. And then I'll probably end up putting a clear coat on it, and then hopefully it'll be done and turn out all right. All right, so I have an update. I've been sanding for a good while now, probably about 15-20 minutes. I've been using a combination of about 120 grit sandpaper, this brown one here, and then a 180, this black here. I got all the rough edges and top part, all that bubbling up that was on here, cleaned up the sides. I'm not going to worry about the bottom too awful much, but I'll probably use the 180 a bit more, then go to 320 or so, and then I'll finish it up with a probably about 1000 grit, just a smoothing finishing sand, and then I will be ready for the last step, which is to put the final coat on here. All right, so finally I'm at the final step, but I've sanded the coaster down for about an hour now. I finished up with 1500 grit on the top and sides. I didn't really worry about the bottom too much. It's really not that big of a deal. I mean, it's a coaster, so it's going to be face up all of its life. So I finished up with 1500 grit, made it real smooth. I'm fixing to give it a really good cleaning, and then I'm gonna go over it with polyurethane. Give it maybe 1 or 2 coats of polyurethane. But I hand sanded most of this. I recommend hand sanding. It's just a lot simpler. If you have a power sander and you have like a lot of surface area to do, you could do that. But I used it for a minute on this one, or not even a minute really, like just a few seconds, and it put some pretty deep gouges in it. But I got them out. I don't recommend using a power sander, but if you want to, do it at your own risk. Also, a very good way of cleaning resin is isopropyl alcohol. I got 50% here. That'll take care of a lot of the dust that you don't want on it before you put your top clear coat level. So I'm gonna clean it with water, then I'm gonna clean it with the isopropyl alcohol, and then I'm gonna give it the top coat. All right, this is the final step. I've cleaned my coaster very well. I have my polyurethane right here. I'm using Mini Wax, fast drying polyurethane, clear gloss. This is gonna be the final and top coat for this coaster, this epoxy coaster. I gave my polyurethane a good stir with a clean stick, and now I'm going to put the final coat on. Here we go.